Yeah, sorry. Perfect. Oh yeah, I forgot I have to take the top. I did the case off this thing. Oh yeah. Hey Eric, I'm headed home. Tomorrow I'll have your seeds out. Sorry about that. I keep on forgetting on my. I would be too. I keep forgetting that I have to take the case off the phone in order to um in order to put it on the new stand. So yeah, I saw that, Chris. That thing is killer. That's great. Is this the right cord? Okay, let's find out. Yep. Nice. You guys probably haven't really been noticing, but I'm about 8 or 9 subscribers off of 2,000. So I'm gonna do some sort of giveaway at 2,000. Yeah, I know I tried to steer you the other way, but if it was if it had regenerated in a pot, then it's different. I thought you had bought it like just B&B, just bagged and burlapped. I'm sorry, balled and burlapped. Sometimes when you say B&B so much, you forget what it actually means. So. Just leaving, heading back south to the Cape. Make sure this is okay. I'm getting a little bit nervous about this new stand because it's all magnetic, so it drops them a lot more easily than say another a clamped setup, but it is a lot easier just to put on there. Probably see I haven't got as much sleep as I've wanted to the past couple days. Although it wasn't too bad sleeping this morning. Let's go back forward here. Oh, driving on the grass. I forgot I have to get a hold of. Yeah, I accidentally paused it when I pressed the. I don't know how many of you have Androids, but there's a assistant called Bixby, and you press it, it automatically kills the feed or pauses the feed. So hopefully I didn't scare too many of you off there with that. I can't stand that sound. I have a Moto Z. Does that have Bixby? Alan, my sister's boyfriend, had a Moto Z. He liked it, but then there was a better deal on the LG V40. He got like a free TV flat screen with it, so he got it just added it to her plan, and she didn't know about it, and she got a little bit upset. But then she found there was a free flat screen, so she's feeling a little better about that. Yeah, I've never had an iPhone. In fact, one time I went to the store. I had Sprint, and then I switched to AT&T, and I had a choice of the Galaxy Note, like the first one, or an iPhone S. I was like, oh cool, an iPhone, I'll check it out. And then I was like, they're about to unpackage it and set it up. And I'm like, no, I'm just gonna stick to the Galaxy. Sounds good. That was my first one. Because the Galaxy 3 had just come out too. That was 2012. I would not use an iPhone. I mean, I'm not like an iPhone hater, but I personally wouldn't use an iPhone. If I got a free iPhone X, or I had to pay like, a regular price for a Droid, I just pay for the Droid because I just can't. Oh man, this motorcycle, smell that?
Stinks.
God, it stinks. It smells like gasoline's pouring in the car. I couldn't use it. I just don't like that. It feels too like utilitarian. And usually I like that sort of stuff, but not in a phone. I like to have creativity. Oh man, it is so bad. It smells like if you turn a car on in a garage and been in it for 5 minutes and you walk in there. That's what it smells like. Well, I haven't gotten to 2000 yet. You never know. You hear that horn go off? Yeah, I mean, I said earlier today I had 1986. Now it's 1991. So depending on which way you update your, Yeah, Chris, they actually have paid me for quite some time. Not a lot of money, but what happened was YouTube would allow you to monetize your channel as soon as you got a certain number of views. I think it was 10,000 views, and then they changed their policy that you had to have 1,000 subscribers before you could monetize, and you had to have a certain number of hours of watch time. So, because I guess they were getting these channels that were just like abusing that. So for a while I got paid for a little while, then I didn't, and then I started getting paid again when I hit 1,000 viewers last May. It's enough to like, I don't know, it's like a tank of gas a month. I mean, I won't, it's not bad. Hey Shiv, what's going on? Got here at the beginning. We still got to figure out what to do for dinner. Are you hungry? What you just ate? What did you eat? Grapes and?
I had like 4 grapes.
I just heard a lot of grape eating. I always watch Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune with my mom, and I was glued to the TV, and I just began. Yes, 8 minutes ago. The stream will probably be about an hour and a half because that'll take me that long to get to Cape Coral and get food and get to the house. I thought I was going to go somewhere else, though. I forgot. Oh, I was like thinking about going to Aldi, but it's not going to be open. Not for dinner, just because like normally it's just too far away from our house to like really make it worthwhile. Surprisingly, it's not that I drive it a lot, it's that I'm usually on stream when I'm driving. It's like I've had this car for, I've actually had this car exactly 1 year and 6 months, so a year and a half to the day. And I have 22,300 miles on it. So that's about 15,000 miles a year, almost exactly, just under, which is not actually a whole lot if you think about it for a lot of Americans. Because I used to put 25,000 miles a year in the car, but I didn't go to Miami as much this past second half of the year. How about you cut into my lane right now? And yeah, I put 50,000 miles on my first Hyundai back in 2012. Yeah, I would average quite a bit. I put like 25,000 miles a year on the Toyota FJ Cruiser I had. Just a lot. I used to drive a lot to like all over the place. I just don't drive as much, I guess. I mean, still drive a decent amount. But yeah, this drive is probably the most driving that I do. It's 100 miles round trip. As the road goes, it's not a highway, but really should get. I had that red car the idea of getting more, like just getting better gas mileage driving around. But I only get 19 and a half. I average 19 and a half miles per gallon in this thing, like city and highway. But I don't really drive on the highway that much anymore. Anyway, as Ashley says, I always talk too much about subjects, don't I? Hold on one second. I see. Water the palmetto trunk. I don't really know why he would say that. I mean, obviously, the plant, if it's regenerated and the roots are all have regenerated, maybe he means don't water the crown, water the trunk, meaning like the base. I mean, palmettos do have the ability to, the trunks have the ability to take in water. They're fibers, so if you get up close, they're really just a bunch of woven fibers. But they're not living, so they're not going to really take in water that way. I don't know. There are very few palms that take in water like above ground. Water is usually used as like some leaves can take it in, but not a palmetto. It's very. No, don't crown water it. Maybe if it's hot enough, you can do it. I mean, you can crown water all you want. I mean, they get plenty of rain here, but make sure that it's in the ground and established when you do that, and it's not wintertime. Otherwise, it's perfectly fine just to water the plant. You get more rain there than we do here, I believe. And, well, it's more consistent, at least. We haven't gotten rain in 2 weeks. It drizzled yesterday, but it doesn't count. So. Can you give me a soda, seltzer? Sorry. Maybe I have one here. Hold on. Wait, I might have a little bit left of this. Yeah. This is how it looks like. Yeah, I mean, I remember Richmond and Raleigh have very similar rain patterns. Raleigh obviously being a little bit warmer, but I just remember it, being fairly consistent. A little bit less summer rain than we get a ton of summer rain here. Yeah, just you could literally just, as long as you're not getting below freezing, you could just water, especially in the sun. You could just leave the water dripping. I'm not saying to like flood it, but you could leave it. You could leave it on like a slow drip, and that would be great for it actually. But don't, whatever you do always be cautious and always overwater if you think. Don't underwater, because when a plant is transplanted like that, you want to make sure the roots get enough water. They have to adjust and start growing. It's kind of like a transplant, like literally in a body. You want to make sure that the body takes in the new transplant, or the roots take in the new soil. So, excuse me. Yesterday we went to a Turkish / no problem, Chris. Oddly enough, transplanting specimen palms is not my area of expertise, but I mean, I can tell you, I know enough about it to tell you like what is good for which plants, So usually most palmate palms want a lot of water when they're transplanted. Most pinnate palms can handle actually less water because they actually handle what they shock less. The more a plant shocks, the more water you actually want to give it. Oh wow, the palms are all good. Oh, at least if you transplant sableminers, I said that's pretty brave of you, because sableminer does not transplant very well. Someone that is an expert in that field is actually Ken, the guy you guys have seen. I seen him root prune a saw palmetto, a Serenoa, to the point where just the trunk was there. It was literally just a trunk with a little ball of soil, maybe the size of like a basketball. It had like 8 feet of wood, and he just carried it on his, laid it down on a flatbed. But if you root prune anything long enough, you can get a small ball like that and just get root regeneration. But it takes a long time, like 18 months. So. I'm gonna do like a video about 2,000 subscribers once I actually legitimately hit it, because I feel like it's bad karma. I think my superstition comes from my poker playing days. Yeah, 70 is great for that. So yeah, and those staples will definitely take well. Even now, I mean, you can plant them and just fine. They'll be just fine. So you can see right here, Fort Myers is 42 miles. So Fort Myers is 48. It's 6 miles back to Venice from here. And that's if you take 41 the whole way. Everyone says take the highway, but you get worse gas mileage because you're going faster than 55, and it's actually more miles in your car. So I save about 6 miles each way. So say it's 12 miles per trip, and I make 3 trips in a month. That's what, 36 miles in a year. I mean, it's not a lot of miles, but that's a whole commute to Miami and back, 360 miles. I think that it is good as long as you know it's safe to plant. There's going to be a freeze. You don't want roots to freeze like when they're exposed, or a hard freeze at least, to get as your plant in a climate. Not that minor's marginal in Virginia Beach. I'm sure it's fine, but when you're trying to get, it's like, let's say I'm trying to try a marginal plant. Like, let's say I was going to try and grow lipstick, right? I would plant it in the ground as soon as I could after I knew it was going to get below like 50, which probably would have been like a month ago or so. Or actually, it actually got down to 48. Well, it got down to 51 in Cape Coral about a week and a half ago. But I would plant it right after that, knowing that it probably wasn't going to get below 50, so I knew that I could get as many roots established as I could. If they weren't so expensive, I'd actually try it out. But to get a decent sized one is, you're paying minimum $500. Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I was just gonna text him. It's much easier. Yeah, I mean, a frost is okay, especially even a freeze. But I mean, I wouldn't try below like maybe 20. You think you're gonna get below 25, which I doubt it's gonna happen in your area. So I didn't go live obviously when I was here in town, but I did do 3 vlogs. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. Open up the greenhouses, at least during the day. Because I've seen your seedlings, man. They look really good, Chris. I think he's beasting out some diesel there. Jesus. Yeah, you guys probably have. I mean, I would say that Virginia Beach is a little bit more of a milder climate with less extremes, but your averages are probably going to be similar. Virginia Beach probably even a little bit warmer because just I know you're off the beach a little bit, but you're just closer to the coast. I would say like Greenville, North Carolina, and Virginia Beach probably have the same kind of climate. I'm not sure, but if I had to guess, maybe Greenville or like New Bern's probably warmer than you are, but Greenville's probably about the same temperature. I actually know that area pretty well because I used to go to the Outer Banks with my family, and I've been to ECU a few times. I had friends there, and I went to sailing camp in Arapahoe, which is on the Neuse River there. That was all a long time ago. But, I mean, the college days were, yeah, geez, that was 18 years ago. You know, I'm getting old. Now I'm upset. One thing that's cool that I really didn't notice a whole lot because I just didn't think a whole lot about these plants, but my sister has a decent sized white bird paradise, and it's flowering everywhere. So I've looked at all the other white birds, and they're all flowering. And people used to pay a lot of money for those flowers. Like I've seen people pay $10 a flower because they're waxy and they're quite beautiful. The plants aren't that tidy, but the flowers are nice. You saw those flowers.
Yeah.
Ashley's half asleep. Until then, she'll wake up for food, then she'll go back to sleep. It's been a rough day. I had her collect 50 seeds today, or 70 seeds.
Yeah, I think it's 70.
But yeah, last night I was just looking around and they're actually pretty closely related, Bob. I mean, they're not in the same genus because travelers trees. I call them trees because they're not palms. I don't know. I don't discriminate if someone calls it a palm, but it's in the Ravenala, genus, and then Strelitzia is the bird of paradise genus, and they're pretty close. They're in the same. I don't know what the name of the family is, but it includes like the banana family. Maybe it's the Musaceae family, but it might be a higher level than that. But basically, your gingers, bananas, heliconias, bird of paradise, traveler trees, and other like broadleaf herbaceous plants are all going to be in that family. I don't know if it's actually a family or an order. I think it's a family. It's one thing I never. The flowers for sure. The flowers are a little bit more ornate on the bird of paradise, especially on the whites. I think are the most stunning. But I don't know if you guys know this, but there's actually a leafless orange bird of paradise. It just has stalks. It doesn't have any leaves on it. It's very silvery. It's actually quite beautiful. I used to grow them and I sold a few and then planted a few at some job sites, and now I wish I had some left because they're so easy to maintain. They don't need any water from any irrigation. They just grow. They're great xeric gardening plants. Oh yeah. Bob, I've seen, I don't know what the absolute temperature for bird of paradise is, but I've seen them in like colder areas of Central Florida. I've seen them in like rural areas of like Polk County. I think I've seen them in Ocala as well. They definitely can handle like down to 20 degrees. I don't know if they start burning at 20, but I think they're probably an 8B to 9A borderish plant. So they definitely can handle some cold. They're not a tropical plant by any means. The orange bird is a little bit more sensitive, probably down to like 25. They can also handle a lot of heat too, which is nice. They all like full sun. They actually grow out in the bush in South Africa. So they're actually like an arid climate. Like they do better in LA than they do in, say, Miami. Yeah. You think about it, basically, the traveler's tree is almost like a Madagascar's version of a white bird of paradise. They always got to be more. Madagascar's always got to show everybody up with their unique plants. So. Would you guys like it if I did more vlogs about non-palms if I had the opportunity? Yeah, you could go for it. I mean, other plants that are like I think people don't grow enough that are really cold hardy are like I think I mentioned this in the vlog before, but Dasylirion wheeleri Dasylirians are really cool. They're like big. It looks like a silvery ponytail palm. It's spiny. It looks like if you took a ponytail, a Bocarnia, which is not a palm, but a ponytail cactus, succulent, I should say, and crossed it with like a blue agave or silver agave. That's what Dasylirian look like, and they're kind of lesser known. I think they're also from South Africa. Yeah, and I've done a couple, relatively common non-palms, like such as some Sago's Bird of Paradise. I actually have one on a Bougainvillea, but I just don't know a whole lot about them, so I kind of have to go off of what I kind of read up real quick on Wikipedia, plus what I noticed from working with them. I don't like those types of thorns that are meant to just like stab you to death. So like bougainvilleas are kind of, there is Bougainvillea arborea, which does not have thorns, so the thornless variety. That's a beautiful plant, but the other ones, I'm not, they're pretty, but they're not fun to work with. I actually surprisingly am completely uneducated about like small bushes and stuff. I mean, I know a lot, I'm familiar with crotons, but when it comes to like hawthorns or junipers and stuff, I couldn't tell you a whole lot about like where they're from. Unless they're native, and I know a little bit more about them. I know a little bit, Bob. I know a decent amount about like, they're growing, what they need as far as, their cultivars, not really so much, but what would you want to know about them? Yeah, bromeliads I can do. I know a decent amount about. I'm not as good on the like all the cultivars because I don't grow them. If you don't actively grow bromeliads, it's very hard to know like a large portion of the cultivars. There's some popular ones I can do. So yeah, there's my friend Rusty, who I don't know if he's been in a vlog or not, but I've done vlogs at his house. He wanted me to get him started on YouTube, actually doing bromeliads and just kind of being active with that kind of community. But they're all very pretty. Ashley loves them, don't you?
Yes.
There's a lot of them that are small that can just be hung on other things. As far as I know, coffee plants grow pretty well in pots. They like a climate that is not really they'll grow here, but they won't produce like they would in, say, South America. They like sort of like what's called a subtropical highland climate, where it doesn't freeze, but it doesn't get too hot, and there isn't a whole lot of humidity. So they're kind of a higher elevation plant. That's why they do so well. Let's say like 4,000 to 5,000 feet in the Andes, where it's still frost free, but it doesn't get up to 90 every day in the summertime. Like the high is like 78 every day and a low of 60, but it never gets cold. Yeah, I think I could I still have many palms to do vlogs on. I have to travel some more to get to more of them. And there's some more discussion, videos I could do that might be interesting. I could tell some stories. I'm actually excited because next time I go to Miami, I'll be able to visit a very long, someone that I admire through their work in the 50s and 60s, and hopefully he's up for doing like a little introduction. I don't know. He's in his 90s now. He may not like technology very much. Bob, everyone has to start somewhere. You can just use your phone, and you can get a $10 stick to kind of hold. And I don't really have anything in my actual piece of property to vlog about, except for what I'm growing. There's really not much in the ground. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the corypha in the ground. It looks terrible. I'm gonna let you sleep because I think that maybe you'll stay up later then.
I'm not sleeping, I'm just laying here.
Okay. I mean, I think everyone would want to know like how well your palms do in Virginia for sure. You know, because then you will. Because I can tell you, I can say, oh, a needle is hardy to zone 6 or 6 to 7 borderline, but for someone who lives in a zone 7 or 8A, they see that they might be more intrigued and it's more localized. So. Oh, someone's been a bad boy or girl. It must be awkward. GD Gardens. Oh, is he on here now? I didn't. If he went by, I didn't see, because sometimes I just don't see every comment. Oh, there you are. Hey, GD. So I think I might have. I don't know if you asked that in one of the videos. Someone asked, or maybe you asked before, but so Cocothronex alta is actually what is really Cocothronex barbadensis variety alta, meaning it's like a tall growing version of barbadensis, and it's one of the lesser cold hardy in the genus because it grows further south in Barbados. It has more tropical green glossy leaves where all the Cuban ones are stiffer, more silvery and waxy, and kind of can hold on to their moisture much more easily and not freeze as fast, especially but I would say I see them growing in Tampa, and warmer parts of Tampa where it'll hit 28 to 30, and they might burn from that, but they'll recover. They can probably handle down a few degrees further than that, but only occasionally, or like maybe once or twice a year. They're probably about as hardy as a foxtail, I would say, if you want to go relative like another palm. I thought about doing like a little mini series, like if you can grow, like if you see, for example, you drive somewhere and you see foxtails everywhere, then you know that you can also grow royals, even if you don't see any, because they can both handle the same amount of cold and heat. For a while, no one grew any royals really like in Arizona or California, and then people tried it out in Phoenix and LA, and they did well, and now they actually do pretty well in Phoenix, as long as they're getting watered. Foxtails are definitely hardier than coconuts. I'd say that they're a solid half zone hardier. Where like coconuts are a solid 10A, foxtails are a solid 9B. When I say, I use those zones kind of in the wrong fashion because, I'm supposed to be in a high 10A, but it only got to 43 this past year, and it got to 33 last year, and that was a cold year. I don't think I've really seen many. I can't remember the last time the last time I got below. I've only gotten below 30 one year ever. So I'd say Venice is a solid zone 10, given my experience in the past 15 years. And Cape Coral's probably more of a solid zone 10B, given those winters as well. But one winter can wipe out a plant, so unfortunately the plants don't average out the temperatures. It's just the annual mean lowest temperature. So and it can change a lot if you're on the south side of a canal. in Cape Coral in the southeast corner, you're probably you're definitely a solid zone 10B. Where if you're up in the North Cape, where there's a lot of open land, you definitely have some zone 9 winters that you'd see your foxtail burn and be like, what this happened. So. Hey, Dan. Hey, so Dan, you know how you asked about the seed? We were literally on our way to go to that area, and I Ashley picked out how many? You picked out how many? 70 of the best seed just for you. So I'm gonna give you more than what you asked for. Yeah, man, no problem. And if I'm gonna send along a few other things as well. For those of you who feel like they're being left out, Dan has done me multiple favors, and that will take a while for me to repay. So I don't want you to think I was, giving him favoritism. I mean, I am because he's done so many favors for me. So I wish in a perfect world I could just send seed out to everybody, everything that I had. Yeah, Dan, I was watching I think it was your Instagram video. Yeah, we're heading back to Cape Coral. The shorelines there aren't exactly the kind of ones you'd want to swim on. It's quite rocky and almost looks like another planet. We're about, I don't know, a third of the way home, a little bit, maybe 40%. We also got to get food, so we're probably a third of the way through this vlog. Dan, I was talking to a bloke that lived on a farm near. I don't know tell me if I pronounce this right. Innisfail, or is it pronounced like with less syllables? Yeah, there's some beautiful rock formations there. Is it Innisfail or Innisfail? I don't know how to. Anyway, that I didn't realize how much, honestly, when I looked at a geoscape, pronounced right. Okay, it's good to hear. How pretty much 85% of Australia appears to be arid, semi-arid to arid land. Really restricted to the eastern coast and the northern tips there, not being desert. I mean, the south coast is a little bit more Mediterranean, I guess. Look at the pit bulls. One thing I will say I saw almost none of until I moved to Florida was pit bulls. I've never used it, but that seems like is it time release or is it like a 90-day? It sounds. I've heard of it. I've actually used very few types of fertilizers. I usually just use Florican because it's so foolproof, and people ask me how much to use, and I just tell them I sprinkle whatever I feel like is the right amount. That's really not very scientific. This motorcycle is really making it hard for me to get places. Nice bike, but just there we go, buddy. It's like a $35,000 bike. A lot of trikes down here too. Understandably, the older population. Yeah, I've been going down the 41 way instead of Burnt Store because we always get food.
There's more food on the Santa Barbara.
You think so? Hey, you mean like those? Okay. You don't want Wawa or Pollo? I know you don't want Pollo. Should I not get Pollo either? Hey, Chris. I got your I'm sorry I didn't respond to your last message. Like I said, I got your package, and then I left for to come up here for a few days. So I'm coming back, and I already talked to you about that. Sorry. Yeah, that makes sense, Dan. I mean, I know it wasn't colonized till basically, you know, the late 1700s, something like that, or late 1700s. I sadly don't know a whole lot about Australian history. For someone that knows so much about European history, you'd think I would know a little bit more. 1788. Okay, so I was pretty close on that. I can see why they went to. Well, I don't know. When was the Canberra era? Has Canberra always been a town that was like an older colonial town, or was it? Yeah, I know that Australia was built on. It was like a criminal colony, which I think is awesome. Personally, there's more characters. I was thinking of all the Australian slang that I read up on. Canberra. Okay, geez, because no one says that here. I didn't realize that. Like I know that Cairns is pronounced that in Brisbane versus Brisbane. No, because in America we pronounce it Brisbane. Canberra. Okay. I will say that probably like per capita wise, I probably have met more Australians than anyone else since I started this YouTube channel. Brekkie, yeah. I love it how children are called ankle biters, because I usually refer to ankle biters as like this small, like really ornate palms, like little koalas and dipsis. In fact, I actually got that from Jeff Marcus. I can't say I got that myself. He would call like Dipsis minuta and little Dipsis rosea, not rosea, but a couple other like Dipsis that only get a couple feet tall at the most, the ankle biters. And yeah, that's how, actually that's what we know them as, like dachshunds and chihuahuas are ankle biters. This isn't really a funny story, but it's really weird. I don't know if you guys. Here, let me see this real quick. Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was because it was like a milder climate, and maybe it was a good place. I thought it was like a what's it called, a preconceived city, like Brasilia is in Brazil. I wasn't sure though. But this has been like a fad apparently, and I saw it actually happen on Pine Island Road, near Pine Island, where my old nursery was. There was people have been tying balloons to dead animals that say "get well soon," like not like people's pets, but like what's it called? Like wild animals. There's a dead coyote on the side of the road, and someone went up to it and tied a "get well soon" balloon on it. And they've done it to like raccoons and deer that have been hit. I don't know. I find that morbidly kind of funny. I don't know. Do you find that funny?
No, I think it's disgusting.
Because in the comments, my friend who posted it, he saw it. Like half the people put it like a laughing, emoticon, and half the people were like sad about it. I thought it was quite funny because it just, I don't know. They're wild. I mean, if it was someone's pet, I wouldn't feel as good. I wouldn't think that was funny. But just like who brings them out of get well soon balloons? Like, oh, we got to find a dead animal to tie this to. That's the weird part about it. Yeah, it's probably someone, that is, I don't see as someone like my age doing that. It's probably a bunch of high schoolers. Because they know that someone's going to post about it on Facebook and they want to see if they become like, Facebook famous, I guess. I don't know. That's pretty funny, Dan. So they'll take dead kangaroos and put them up against like telephone posts and put like a tin can in his hand, like they're begging. I don't know why that I guess you got to have a sense of humor that you got to have thick skin sometimes when it comes to humor, in my opinion. Oh, it's a beer can. Okay. Do you guys? This is probably a dumb American question, but yeah, I mean it is already dead. It isn't like people aren't out killing animals and doing it. So I've never had a Cadbury Crunchy. That sounds good though. Like a crunchy Cadbury egg. I'm guessing that's what it is. Like it has like a crunchy chocolate part to it. Yeah, I mean, and there's probably plenty of roadkill, I'm guessing, in Australia. I personally don't care about the deer park because I totally redid my mom's old Mercedes diesel. Spent a lot of time and effort and a decent amount of money on it. Oh, chocolate covered honeycomb. That does sound like crack. Yeah, I'm sure that they smash your car just like the same way deer do, here in America. And I've it ruined one of my Hondas. It ruined my Mercedes. It destroyed it. I just left the ferry off of the island I was living on. I should have gotten past this guy. God damn. Anyway, oh, now he's gonna go. I hit it head on at 45 miles an hour. So we're talking about 85 kilometers an hour, so maybe 80. And it just, the radiator is just spewing fluid everywhere. The front end is smashed. Like, it's going to be a $4,000 fix on what was then like a $2,000 vehicle. Now it'd be worth fixing, but back then it wasn't. Oh my God, this is killing me. Why? Looks like it's no better up there anyway. What's this car? The other side has gone up. Oh. This happened to me on the way up here too. You could still hit up Publix actually if you wanted to. Huh? So we can still hit up Publix too if you want to get something relatively healthy. Oh, you guys have camels out there too. I can imagine that with the climate you have. They probably would do fine like in Central and West Texas, I would imagine. In a lot of parts of like New Mexico. I don't know how well they work with cold. But, I mean, the Outback does get chilly. Because, like, Dan, where you are, I'm pretty sure, like, the difference between night and day temperatures was, like, 30 Fahrenheit or, like, maybe, like, 20 Celsius. Oh, that is interesting. What is it? It smells spicy. What are you eating? It smells like hot sauce. It smells like... Oh, it's vinegar. That's what I'm smelling. Something acidic. I can smell it, like acrid. I don't think those are native camels, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not. I watched a document. I watched way too many documentaries on YouTube, but one of them was about how Colombia now has a problem with like hippos getting into the wild because they were Pablo Escobar introduced them to his compound in the 80s, and they just started leaving the pond that they were at and just started wandering to other areas. So now like they're being found like in like all over Antioquia province in like west central Colombia, because he got a bunch of them back in the 80s, like, you know, with no permits or anything. So I don't think anyone was going to stop him. But now, like, they're starting to eat everything else because hippopotamus don't really have any predators, even in Colombia. Like, what's going to attack a hippopotamus and kill it, you know? I think they're hilarious animals, but they're also quite dangerous. We could do a little, you know, should I drive by the front of the island for them?
He's done that before.
I know, but it might not have been the same people that were watching, though.
No.
I have seen a Florida panther out off of 27, and I think actually, yeah, they weren't on 44. No? Why do you say no?
Because I'm hungry.
Okay. But you got salt and vinegar chips, aren't you? Okay. Okay. Last night we went out to a Turkish. It said it was Turkish and Greek, but it was more Turkish food. And I got this ground lamb thing, and so did my sister and her boyfriend. But Ashley got the mahi mahi. It was good, but it was pretty salty. I didn't even know Venice has become a different type of place. Venice 15 years ago had like just maybe a couple Chinese restaurants. I don't even know if the Thai place was there in 2004, but things have changed. Ashley wouldn't have any of the baklava or you had a little bit of the cheese, the saganaki. It's like
Tried the dessert.
yeah. We didn't like it.
It was too sticky.
Well, that's what honey is like. You like honey, why don't you?
Yeah.
Miss wines a lot.
I miss wine a lot.
I'm just kidding. You don't like Merlot? You're on Miss Wines? Or does my sister hold that title?
She holds that.
Oh, so Chris, sorry, I didn't see that last. What's that?
Someone happy with beer.
There are, Chris. There definitely are some still, like, say, I would imagine that parts of like interior Brazil, some parts of Madagascar, maybe like in the Thailand, Laos, Vietnam area, some of those forests. And also the Philippines, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea probably being the most number of species probable in there. So that's where Manjeki is from. Manjeki seems like it's going to be a neat plant. I just don't know if it's going to be like a... Yeah, 2014 at the earliest. This seed wasn't available for a couple years after. Yeah, I think it'd be hard for us to find. There might be some varieties we haven't found, or some... Like, I have a friend that scours the southeast looking for Sable Minor. And, he's found some, as far north as Lake Weiss in northeast Alabama. People say that there's some in Tennessee, but no one's found any natural populations. Yeah, there's been some new discoveries on the Vietnam-Chinese border, because that area isn't really a highly populated area. Vietnam and China, like really, even though they do get along, they just don't. There's not a lot of mingling going on. So the borders are kind of just not well traveled, especially by Westerners. But there's a couple there's a really rare rhapis called Rhapis puhuongensis. My friend traveled on the beach there, and he showed me a picture of what looked to be. It was hard to tell because it was a little bit from afar. So, but he sent me some seed, and there's some cold hardy Penangas actually that grow in that area too. It does get chilly up there. Like Hanoi has a climate much like, kind of like Tampa actually, maybe around here. Oh, that's interesting. I should look into that. I have a friend who actually travels in that area. Vietnam is a very cool place where you can travel very cheaply. Actually, the reason I kind of know, I mean, when I do business in Vietnam, but also I have a lot of friends that are poker players online, and they wanted to go somewhere they could live that was cheap to live, but that they didn't mind that online poker was being played. Vietnam is one of those places. Hey, Big Bubba, what's up, Zach? Yeah, Zach, first of all, I was surprised that I wasn't here from you earlier. But I wouldn't be surprised if there are stable minor enclaves from escape plants in most of the southeast, including Tennessee, Missouri, like northern Arkansas, especially on the coast, along the Mississippi and Tennessee rivers. Possibly as far north as even into say Cairo, Illinois. I bet stable minor would grow fine there. I mean, it would get along fine. I'm sure it would, You would think there'd be a big city right where the Ohio and Mississippi rivers, intersect. Cairo's not a very big town. I mean, it's kind of low lying, but so is most of the other large towns, like Memphis, St. Louis, Baton Rouge, New Orleans. Oh, do they really? Huh. Do they grow up into Virginia as well? I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah. Yeah, Zach, I saw you were live, but I was actually out to dinner. I couldn't watch it. Just the tip, okay. Kind of like the way stable minor grows in the McCurtain County. If you look at a map of McCurtain County, Oklahoma, there's nobody there. Maybe we should just go to Publix. Do you want to do that? It's probably healthier. Publix. I just don't want to eat like Arby's, that's all. My stomach is not exactly feeling it. Alright, so instead of ending it at the vlog at the house, we're going to end it at Publix because I can't really go in there. What did I say? Yeah, there's only a couple towns there in Clinton County. I've never been to Oklahoma, but on the map. Why did you say? Are you trying to do that like a Yiddish accent? Do you want to go to our Publix or you want to go to the other one? Let's go to our Publix. I like it better. I know where everything is at our Publix. There's a new fire station. It's pretty well landscaped. Still very disappointed in the landscaping at downtown Venice. I got that really nasty comment from the one guy. That was hilarious. Yeah, you're right about that, Bob. It's actually a relatively mild area compared to, say, other areas where Sable Minor does grow. Yeah, but people want to advertise something as like special. They'll add that it grows as far north as Oklahoma, and people are like, oh well, I must be able to grow it like in the Panhandle, Oklahoma, near Colorado and Mexico, and that's definitely yeah. Fat Santa's son. But again, at the Publix, what can we realistically get? What do you want to eat? Is the question. Huh? Oh, Publix is probably the best place to find some stuff that. Although I do kind of want some odd food. I wanted pollo, but. Closed everywhere. Sorry if I don't see the comments. This road can get a little hairy when it's 2 lanes with construction. Oh. Try this. Let's just try this Publix. I'm trying to think of what else we can eat. Maybe we could just stop and get fast food. I guess I could do an Arby's sandwich, even though I ate a sandwich for lunch. Huh? I'm sure my stomach would love that. God, so annoying. Oh, you're in New Smyrna. Yeah, there was a front that came through all the way to Sarasota, but it didn't come to Venice. It was kind of weird. What's the temperature there in New Smyrna? Publix 59. Wow, it's 70 here. That front, it's gonna go back north again, and it'll probably warm up. But yeah, it was it was like 69 in Tampa yesterday afternoon. It was 76 in Venice. But again, it was like 70 in Sarasota, so we just kind of just missed that front. But it's a nice and decent 70 here right now. I need to go to Walgreens and get a new pair of clippers. My hair's too long to shave now. Oh, really? Yeah, no, definitely. And if you need other palms to, to plant there, let me know, I'll see what I can do. Is that like a, is that part taken care of by like the city, Dan? You know what's open? What do you think's open over there?
Where?
Over there.
Chinese.
Yeah, do you want it?
No.
Wow, you don't want Chinese food. You want to go to Wendy's or Arby's?
Wendy's.
Really?
Unless there's nothing in Wendy's you want.
I just don't know. I just haven't seen a Wendy's menu in a long time. Oh yeah, for sure. There was once people would say that there were coconuts planted up the Ponce de Leon Inlet, there just south of Daytona. I don't know about that for sure. There might have been a few. I've heard of Upchurch, but I don't know the song. That's weird. Oh, there are some Cariotas there now. Yeah, it sounds like a definite, it's probably a decent 9B. It's hard for it to get really cold there in the Daytona area. But like, Ashley's sister lives in Deltona, and that's definitely like a zone 9B, if not colder. Yeah, there was one in St. Augustine too, Bob. It just comes down to like one year there's just going to be some, a string of chilly weather that coconuts just really can't handle. And the further north you go, the more often, that's going to happen. Just a matter of time, really, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm sure there's some bottle palms and pots. I know, it is weird, Chris. Northport is definitely a cold pocket for sure. And I've seen Northport like up to 10 degrees colder than even Venice. They're dug up for the winter, huh? I didn't even realize there was a Carrabba's here. Not that I've wanted to go. No, where was that you saw a Big Livistona? Ashley's sister, I actually never have done a vlog at her house. Actually, I don't think I've only been to her house once since I started the vlogs. For Thanksgiving 2016. Which is surprising because, considering how much Ashley's family loves me. What is this going to be here on the right? What is that? Is it like a shopping center or one? Guaranteed there's going to be a mattress firm there. Oh boy. Zach, you know the rules. No political discussion. We're palm people. Politics is a distant seventh of importance on our discussion list. That got retracted. I don't know if you did it automatically or but. Oh, I noticed. Bob, there is a decent amount. There's not as much as I think there should be, because I think, in my opinion, it's a great plant for Central and South Florida. I don't know why. It doesn't even have nutrient deficiencies. It's like the most underplanted palm. But they're not expensive. They're actually really cheap. I mean, they're the same price as any other relatively common plant. Like a bottle palm and our king palm are going to be the same price, same size, the same size pot. But king palms grow faster, so I used to grow a ton of them. I would sell 2-gallon Arcanda Phoenix Tuckerized for $15 back in like 06. I think that Gazella Copsic bought up a bunch of them. The only thing about Cunninghamiana is that Cunninghamiana does not like full sun. Although they're planted out in full sun in Sarasota, they look much better in the shade. They're naturally shade lovers. When they will get some sun, but they like they're different than the others in the genus. So they don't have a silver back underside, and they like more shade. I don't guess I don't have a choice. We're going to the drive-thru. What do you want? The taco salad? I'm at Arby's. Fuck. Damn it, wrong place. Hold on, I gotta back
We
up.
can do Arby's if you
You
want.
sure?
Yeah.
Okay. How do I do that? How do I go to the wrong... So much... The Big Kahuna burger. That looks dangerous.
Welcome to Arby's. Please order whenever you're ready.
Okay, yeah, just give us 1 second.
Alright, take your time.
Alright, cool.
I want one roast beef and the fries.
1 roast beef and what size fries?
Whatever size.
Alright, could I get 1 classic roast beef? And a large fry? Large curly fry? And
Classic roast beef and a large curly fries.
yes, and can I also get one of the turkey ranch and bacon? This is a sandwich. And that'll be it.
Alright, it's gonna be $12.22.
All right, thanks. Yeah, I think that you'll find they'll be very popular. I think they will actually grow better up there with a little bit milder, like not as hot and not as cold sort of thing situation. Yeah, I'm surprised they aren't used as much either when they're fast growing. I'm really not sure. My friend, I will, Chris. I'm gonna do a community pot. Just to kind of, I don't know. I'll grow them until they're too big for, then I'll figure something out. Yeah, I know, right, Dan? And I don't mind that. I mind it if when like some random person comes on here, lives in the Cape, it's like, oh, this guy seems like, I don't know, decides he wants to try and rob me or something. But, you know, I don't think that's going to be a problem. We're 71 now. You want to, Zach, you and Daniel, you guys want to shout out? You want to shout out, like you want me to say, hey, Zach, thanks for being such a great plant guy, and Dan, thanks for being such a great bloke in Australia. Your feet are on my dash.
I know.
Do you think that's okay?
Yeah.
Oh yeah? Why do you think that's okay?
Because I clean it.
You clean what?
I wipe down the inside.
I look so pale in this, the way that the eyes, jeez. Alright. Finally. I really didn't want to walk around Publix again anyway. I don't mind doing that. I'll probably do that, you know, for 2,000 subscribers. I'm going to give everyone that regularly watches the vlog a shout out. So you guys have the live stream actually seems to kind of like bring in like new people that want to watch the vlogs. That's why I thought it might be a good idea to start going live and just kind of show you guys like what I generally do live. I mean, generally do, but live. So I look like a ghost in this.
Or a ghost.
Yeah, I actually do have like.
That's 1222.
Right, there you
Arby sauce.
Mm.
3.
go. 3 Arby. Can I get 3 Arby sauces as well?
3 Arby's?
Yes, please.
There you go.
Thanks.
There you go.
All right, thank you. You too. Have a good one. Yeah, YouTube is gonna kill your comments, man. It's like they police that stuff pretty hardcore. Yeah, I have no problem doing that. I wouldn't. I mean, on live stream, it's not going to help you out, but I'll do it on a vlog. But at 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to kind of like go back to the history of the channel. Man, that smells good. Just sad because I really don't want. Oh no, that did not just happen.
It doesn't happen.
Oh, that did not just happen.
I heard it.
Yeah, thanks for that, Captain Obvious. Have you ever eaten that at KFC?
Well, it's Emma. I was a baby.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys. Emma was a baby. Okay. You know, the thing is, like, people don't really go to KFC anymore in the U.S. Like, especially to eat in. It's so popular in China, they don't even care though. Smells like heaven. I'm sure your mother's cooking probably tastes great too. Yeah, they're still on the dash. The bottoms of the feet are not though, and the dash is like made of material that's pretty durable, so I'm not too worried. My dad actually called me up. He was looking for a new vehicle. He got a Toyota 4Runner today. Yeah, Bob, I'm not sure how old you are, but I mean, last time I've been to a KFC was probably like in 2013, like when I had to go on a poker trip. My friend wanted it because there was like a buffet. I'm like, oh, a KFC buffet? Like, it sounds terrible, but whatever, it was cheap. They have a buffet there. It's one of the, I haven't seen one of those in a while. But KFC just doesn't really, they're losing their market share. In Florida, I think it's hard because Publix has such good fried chicken, and Popeyes is here, and you know, between the two of them, they can definitely beat out KFC. They usually put KFCs with Taco Bell's as like a 2-store set up. It's a broken down car there. I'm surprised. What's the closest KFC to you? Like in Jackson, Zach? One place that's kind of, I mean, I guess it's fast food that I don't mind going to is Tropical Smoothie Cafe because they actually have like fresh ingredients. Actually, I go there maybe like 5-6 times a month. Jackson's big enough to have a hood. I guess it's a decent sized town. Oh, car's farting. Was that a Camaro making that sound? No, it can't be it's like a 6 or 8 cylinder car. 60,000 people. Wow, it's decent size. It's bigger than I thought it was. It's like the size of like Lakeland, I guess. Lakeland definitely has a hood. Jeez. Lakeland and Winter Haven have some dangerous areas too that no one really knows about. Okay.
Oh god.
I mean, oh god, what do you think? I can't make a turn? Huge. I might pull the stick out and check on the plants. Might do that together. Maybe just put my sandwich in because I don't have hot food, so I'm okay.
But I do.
So you can go in the house. You want me to eat with you or something? Yeah, I could see that. I've seen a lot of like North Florida towns have a sketch. I mean, there's North Fort Myers is sketchy areas, and it's a small town. Well, it's probably like 15,000 people. Jaybird. So as you guys can probably tell, we're pretty close to the house, but I'll go out and check. I gotta check the mail anyway. So, God, this stomach has been killing me for days. I mean, oh look. I asked my neighbor if it didn't rain today to water plants. Hopefully he did. All right, there's gonna be a little bit of shakiness. It's gonna be annoying. Oh, they're gonna lay in my lap for a second. Put the case back on. Make sure I don't press any of the buttons on the side. They're very touchy. That's the only real downside too. I've got my old vlog stick. That's what I have in the car right now. All right, now we're on the vlog stick, and we'll enable the flash. Hey, James. Got here right at the very end, but do you have the keys? Oh, the keys were sitting here, I think. Yes. Let's go take a look at the plants. Here, I'll unlock the door for you. I really gotta use the bathroom. Make sure I got the big key. Okay. Look at those beautiful weeds. Oh, of course I have a missed package. Damn it. Alright. Huh. Registered. What did I get that came that fast? Huh. Let me turn a couple of lights on here. Oh, wrong light. What?
Blinded.
Sorry. It says I got a package from Thailand, but I didn't. I don't know. That's inside the house. Oh, so here's the Atalaya speciosa. And I water it a lot, and kind of, it's actually weed around it where I don't weed around the others, but it's doing good. I mean, this is the time of the year where it's gonna languish a little bit because it wants a lot of that tropical weather, and that it's hot but not too rainy. My neighbor probably thinks I'm crazy. Let's see here. Oh, he watered them. What a nice guy. Those are definitely been watered. This is unacceptable. Oh, damn it. You're lucky you don't have an HOA that gets crazy on you. These little tiny weeds are really annoying. They keep on popping up everywhere. Oh, check this out. This is growth point here and here. I don't know what's going to happen there. See, I started using this mix here, and then I switched to this stuff, and this stuff's I'm not a fan of the old stuff. Here's Livingstone Alfredi for you, Dan. Looking for a nice fat root at the bottom. And it's a pretty deep pot, so they may not actually go to the bottom quite yet. Those have definitely been watered, though. They're soaking wet. It's good stuff. Alright. Ashley begged me to get this plant and never bothers to come look at it. This jasmine, I forget, star jasmine, that's what it is. Look at some of the plants out front. Oh yeah, there's definitely bugs. Nothing too rough though. There's not like a ton of mosquitoes running around. Oh, we gotta check the mail too. Like there you can see a little bit of the inside of my house. That's about as much as you're gonna get though right now, until I clean it up some more. Yeah, these have been watered for sure. Maybe a little bit too hard, but that's all right. Oh yeah, he does a very thorough job, which is cool. Oh, the Atalaya calenda. I would go into the back. You know what? I need to do a vlog on. Let me show you guys in a vlog how it's doing. I mean, it's doing fine. But it's kind of bunched up right now. Some other plants because I was moving stuff around. I trimmed it up a little bit. There's that one there. And again, they're just kind of, they don't really get much love. Like I don't even really water. I mean, I do water them at times, but this time of year they look ratty because I just how little water I actually give them. Okay. Useless mail. Useless mail. You can give that to Emma. Dentistry. I don't know if that's dentist you guys. Oh boy.
I don't know.
Okay, good. All right. Well,
How was it?
oh, the queen. The queen's doing fine. That's not a problem. Yeah, that's it. Turn around and show yourself. What does your shirt say? What is that? I don't know. You had your hand on your nose.
Breckenridge, Colorado.
Oh yeah. Do the palms grow there?
No.
And this is my Morishella Armada. It seems to do pretty well here as long as I give it plenty of water. Yeah, the Copanichas have royal palm trunks. But you can see here, this is a clumping palm. It's got a nice silvery underside for one, and it has very little armor. Like you guys can see, right, these little tiny armaments that are very irregular. Like right here, there's only one, and then here it's clumping, and it's clumping over here too. So these things actually grow really fast, especially in the summertime. What else is worth taking a look at? Oh my! The problem is a lot of palms I get are stunted when I get them because they're given to me. Like this is a macroglossi I planted in the ground and I haven't done much with. This is the worst time of year to really show off anything because, again, it's hot, but there's none of. I should be. Yeah, so the coconut here, I trimmed it up. It's looking a little bit better. It seems to be doing okay now. I don't see any signs of like death, but it should be much bigger than this. I mean, this palm was like half this size 3 years ago. And it has like 8-foot fronds, but it's either like a really big, it's either like a really dwarf coconut, or it just isn't loving it here. I really should be, but again, Ashley's mom's not a big fan of plants, so and I could move it. I could put it elsewhere before it gets too stunted. I might put it in, like, in the back or somewhere else like that. There's something, you can see where I trimmed it up and didn't bother putting this out for the trash. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go because I gotta get my stuff in the house and I need to do some laundry. I have no boxers and it's very awkward. All right, so I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, everyone. See some vlogs. I might do them as early as tonight, depending on how much energy I have after eating. And yeah, at 2,000 subscribers, there'll be definitely and I'll try to do some really cool vlog, something like that. So yeah, I'll see you later, Dan, Bob, Zach. See you later, Dr. Chris, Brian, James. Yeah, Brian. I think I got everybody that's currently watching, or at least commenting. Alrighty. Till next time.